Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Eleutheria, where we talk about all things liberty. Sorry I'm a little bit late today. My husband phoned. He's on his way home and he's picking up the boys before he goes to the shops, so that we'll have less interruptions. What's the problem? Yes, I am. Oh, crumbs. Can't ever seem to get this 100% right, but yeah, every day I get a bit better at it. So today I'm streaming straight from YouTube because, as usual, I'm trying to preserve my time on StreamYard. So let's see how this goes. Can everybody hear me? I think you can all see me because I put a light on, another light. So Gentle Inflatables is busy cooking. What are you cooking, Gentle Inflatables? I need some inspiration for later in the week. Thank you, Rebellious Ruth, for the feedback. Now I don't have to check my phone. Brilliant. Brilliant. You can see me, you can hear me. Everything is great. Okay. Cool. So, who all heard that there's going to be a plan for getting, hold on, yeah?
Can we send time beyond the...
If your sister's with you, yes.
She's looking through the window.
Okay, cool. Please behave. Motherhood. Motherhood. Anyway, Paul, stop screwing with me. I can see myself on the screen, okay? What is Gentle Inflatables cooking? Easy peasy tonight, vorst, mash, carrots and squash. Sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan. Spoke to some people today, old family friends, and there are people cuck scared of this codif. Just tell them that it has a 98% survival rate. Like, really, more than 98%, because trust me, there are millions of people out there walking around that have had it and have been asymptomatic. So, like, really. What am I making for dinner today? I'm not making anything for dinner today. My husband is picking up frozen pizzas, or maybe unfrozen pizzas. Anyway, pizzas that you stick in the oven and say that you cook dinner. And because the kids have been asking for pizza for a while. So we're having pizza, but he'll probably get me a meal and he'll cook himself some meat or whatever, because I'm feeling a bit like heartburnish myself, so I know that pizza is not a good meal for me to have today. So he's going to get me something high fat, low carb. Yeah, something. I don't know. Mareike is no longer Ramaika. And she says it's outrageous that some people get to stream while others slave away at the office. It's unfair, #unfair, #equal rights. So, yeah. Rebellious Ruth told her friends and family that she did tell them that it's a relatively mild disease, high survivability rate, but they're listening to cuck scared doctors. Oh, and I went to a restaurant and got served alcohol. Whoop, whoop. That's brilliant. I'm loving to see the civil disobedience amongst people. Yeah. Paul Hart wants to know if he should ban Marika, and no, I'm going to make it very difficult for him to ban Marika. Because Paul, you must be nice to the people. They're allowed free speech so long as they don't get abusive and incite hatred and stuff. So yeah, just be nice. Play nice, Paul. Play nice. For those of you who don't know, Paul Hart is going to be coming on my channel on Thursday afternoon to talk about prepping for the zombie apocalypse. And it's already set up, so head on over there and set a reminder that you don't miss that channel, that live stream on Thursday afternoon, because we're going to talk about what you need to do for the coming tough times. Paul says Boogaloo is indefinite and that we all need to prep. So yeah, I asked him to come on and share his tips and what we should be stocking up on and what we should worry about and what is not going to be something that you need to worry about at the time. And he's going to bring his tinfoil hat, just so you know. Ruth is on a serious diet and fitness program because she needs to be able to run faster. That's great. She's going to be able to outrun the zombies, and also the. It's just a good thing that you're doing, Ruth. Like, I think it's great. What? Dog's in here. Come here, Freaky. Come. She's upset because I stripped my bed, so she can't get on the bare mattress. She's not allowed to. So she's upset that I've taken her sleeping place away. Yeah, Ruth makes a good point. She's more concerned about China taking over SA. Yeah. I want to skip back to a previous comment that Gentle Inflatables is a mommy zombie. I'm a mommy zombie. Jeez, I feel like a mommy zombie today. I have brain fog. And yeah, just like low energy and yeah, definitely mommy zombie vibes today. For sure. Paul Hart said yesterday's interview with Herman Pretorius made him want to drown himself. I'm sorry. I thought it was a great show. I know you had to tune out early because you had to go work, but maybe watch the whole thing, or even just watch the end where he gives things some stats that are reasons to be hopeful and positive about South Africa. Maybe do that. What's the plan you were going to tell us about, Beth? Okay, yeah. So the the tourism industry needs a plan so that it can recover. And I'm like, you know what? As soon as any government department gets involved with any planning, then everything goes to shit. So I think the plan should be just unlock down and just let the private sector do what it does best and make South Africa great, because the private sector is made up of normal, everyday South African citizens that care about what happens in the country and that care about each other, and they care about their future, and they're building a future for themselves and future generations, and that's the only plan we need. The tourism ministry has already tried to hyper-regulate by saying that Airbnbs are only allowed to have so much business, and then, then so to make it fair so that the next Airbnb gets business. No, that's not how business works. You provide a good service, you provide an excellent service, and you'll have repeat customers. A free market just means you have higher quality products and services being provided, which in turn means you have repeat business. And the tourism industry knows how to do this, okay? Granted, there are certain Airbnbs, bed and breakfast hotels that are crap, and they'll just go under if they don't lift their game. So, yeah. And the comments are jumping, but Paul Hart has a great comment. I am in tourism. I have a plan. Ignore the commie scum. And I couldn't agree with him more. Abso-freaking-lutely. He said the show was great, but the predictions about the candy coating were cuck. Yesterday's show with Harriman. Okay. Yeah. I can't refute it. Only time will tell, So just getting through some more comments. Southern Metalhead is back. Thank you for joining again. Marika says death to commies. Absolutely. Yeah. So I think I've caught it up. Southern Metalhead says, of course I'm back. Yeah, I appreciate my repeat viewers. I really, really do. It lets me know that you obviously like what I'm doing and what I'm saying, and that it resonates with you. And yeah, if we can get these ideas out to more people, all the better. So, Gentle Inflatables, one of my son's birthdays is coming up in September. Any ideas how to celebrate a lockdown birthday for an 8-year-old? We actually are doing that in 2 weeks' time as well. My son is also turning 8 next week. And we actually had 2 birthdays in lockdown already, or kids' birthdays. So my daughter turned 13 in April, and then my youngest turned 5 in May. And so what we did is we actually did a sort of like a Zoom call, and everybody in the family phoned in and sang to her a happy birthday. It was actually on Good Friday, so we spent the whole day baking. My husband made cinnabons, and we baked her cake, and she decorated it herself. And yeah, it was, we made it as fun as we could, and we connected with as many people as we could. Lots of people phoned and sent messages and all sorts. And yeah, you do the best you can. I know you have jumping castles, so you can set up those. You can get people to phone in, although, we're not like in hard lockdown anymore. So, if you have grandparents that could come over, I say go for it, and just have like a small afternoon tea for them. When my son turned 5, at that stage, the economy was starting to open up. So I started a business that produced and sold baby items. And I employed my sister, and I gave her a permit. And so she came and sewed baby clothes whilst we celebrated my son's birthday. So, there's ways around it. Yes, you can also you can ask people to drive by or send video messages or whatever. That's also a great way of handling it. Yes, we've got two new women that have started channels. So Laura Fry has started Femme Fatale ZA, and I'll grab a link to that. And then there's Rebellious Ruth as well. And so I'm going to grab links to those channels. So let's do that. I'm just checking. I have not. Missed any comments. But Paul Hart, didn't you do the same thing? You're listening but not watching, and have to reflect on what you said. So you had to commit fraud to enable a family member to travel freely to visit. How fucked up is the world? Yeah, luckily that has fallen away. So my sister doesn't have to drive around with a permit anymore, or her children's birth certificates and her divorce agreement, so that she could go fetch them from their father to spend some time with her during lockdown. So, yeah, the world is indeed a fucked up place. Southern Metalhead just made my day. I do enjoy the mom perspective on all things. It's pretty awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, even duct tape can't fix stupid. Yeah. Paul Hart said he did exactly the same for his mom. It's mad we have lost so much. Absolutely. And yeah, the only way I can safely, without like landing myself in prison and leaving my kids to fend for themselves, because dad has to earn the money, and so he will look after the kids and school them. My only way of fighting the lockdown is to sit behind this camera and talk to everyday people and encourage you, like Herman did in the live stream yesterday, to write letters to ministers. And if you're not getting through to ministers, then write more. And, just that's, it's one way that you can actually just get over the apathy. Like, stop being apathetic about what is going on. Just start taking small action, because I tell you what, once you start doing something like this, whether it's a YouTube channel, writing letters, once you start doing those things, you actually do, you feel better. You feel better. And you feel like you want to take the next step. So, just think of that. Okay. I am looking for some linkers for you all. So here is Femme Fatale's first live stream this evening, which I will be late for because I am on Joe's show this evening, which I'll also have to find the link for. Okay, so that comment is for Femme Fatale. That's Laura's new channel. And now we find Rebellious Ruth. Here's her channel. Find the tab that you want to go back to, Beth. Paul doesn't think that writing to ministers will help because he doesn't think they can read. And yeah, there are problems with that. Yes. Yeah, Joe's got 2 streams tonight. He's got one at 7 with me and Yanni. We're talking about kids and tech. Let me get that link. And then another one at 8:30, which I have no clue what he's doing. What is later? I have no idea. Oh, yes. Bianca van Wyk is later. Okay, here is the link to my show with Joe tonight. We're going to be talking about kids and technology. Please don't miss that if you have kids. Even if you can't catch it live because you're watching Femme Fatale, please watch the replay because there's going to be some good information about what you should be doing with your kids and technology. No worries, Laura. You know what? There's so many of us running channels now that, you know, it's really difficult to find a time that you're not going to clash with other people. So, and that's not why I chose this specific time of day. I actually chose this specific time of day based on the views that I was getting. I actually started doing it at 3 o'clock in the afternoon because I felt like it was a good time for my family. You know, lunch is out the way. Normally I've already got dinner sorted out by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and yeah. So that's how I chose my time. And then looking at the viewership that I was getting, it seemed like going a little bit later was actually better. And so that's what I did. Yeah, so unless you want to do a late night stream, you're always going to find someone that you're going to clash with. There's always going to be clashes, especially during the week. Saturdays are a quiet day. So, but also people like to, you know, like they do their grocery shopping or they get stuff done around the house and stuff like that. So, it's not always convenient for the streamer because they have stuff to do, but it might be convenient for people that are doing menial things around the house and actually want something to keep them company whilst they do that. So there's that. But yeah, Saturdays just don't work for me. Unless I'm at home and really, really bored, I'm not going to be streaming on a Saturday. And last link I'll be posting for the day is the one to Joe's show at 8:30 with Bianca van Wyk. So, the brew will get into big cuck on a late night stream. Yes, you probably will. I would suggest that you stream at 3 o'clock in the afternoon whilst you are still in good boy mode. Yes, people are joking and buying on Saturday nights. But like Saturday, I don't know, Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, I don't know. Generally, I find if I'm doing stuff on Saturday and there's no one here, that's when I catch up on stuff that I missed during the week. So I think people are looking for interactive content on a Saturday, maybe. I don't know. Try it. Gentle inflatables. Bianca's the one lefty that I actually have a bit of respect for because she actually apologized yesterday to Wotan. Like completely 100%, not a non-apology apology. She apologized properly. She said she realized the error of what she did and she became exactly the people that she despises, and she apologized. So I will give her that. And she is also the only person on the left that has agreed to go on Ronaldo's show and now Joe's show. So just saying, like, don't chuck out the water with the baby, or the baby with the water, whatever it is. If Ramon, Jeremy, and Paratus are the podcast bros, are you ladies the podcast hoes? I don't mind being a podcast hoe. I like that title. Marika says, Beth, please give a hearty shout out to my friend Yaku, who's driving me home so that I can interact here. Yaku, thank you so much for driving Marika home again so that she can be on my stream and moderate the comments, because there's just dodgy people here that she's just blocking people left, right, and center. So thank you for enabling Marika to do her duties. I'm joking. I don't have any haters yet. Marika is indeed always being driven around, and that's because Marika is the president. So do not question, Paul. Do not question. Speaking about being old enough to drive, because Gentle Inflatables just asked if Yaku is old enough to drive, I started teaching my daughter how to drive yesterday. Because I've decided that she's not going to be like her mother, where she has to wait till she's 17 and go and get her learner's license and then pay for lessons from an instructor and then end up being a licensed but incompetent driver. So yeah, I started teaching her to drive yesterday. She did fantastically. All I did was I took her to a rooftop parking lot where it was nice and quiet. And I told her, okay, this is how you get into first gear, and then you slowly release the clutch and no accelerator, just slowly release the clutch and go. And then we did that in reverse, and she did some hard stops and some gentle stops and all of that. And then my mom was ready to go home, so we went and we picked my mom up from the entrance and we went home. I drove home. So yeah, she did really well and she enjoyed it, and she said, I'm a very good driving teacher. So my daughter is 13, Paul. I've decided to teach her now because she's tall enough. I've decided that's how I'm going to handle it with my kids. They're going to learn as soon as they're tall enough to reach the pedals and see over the dashboard. Essay malcontent, that is fantastic. My post yesterday on Twitter got her into gear, and she's looked up a driving instructor for herself today. That is excellent. I am so thrilled. So thrilled. Yes, exactly, Laura. When I eventually found a decent instructor for myself, he took me for our first 2-hour lesson. He took me to a parking lot, and I did for 2 hours what I did with my daughter yesterday. Boy, did my left leg and foot ache that night, but I did not fail my parking because I did not use my accelerator when I did my parking in my test. So that's what I'm doing with my children. And my husband said it's going to be my responsibility because he doesn't think he has the patience, and he doesn't think they'll do well with his sarcasm. So, and he gets car sick. Paul wants to know when our illustrious Rama Twat addresses us again. Well, it has to be before Friday. It has to be before Friday. So, cheers, rebellious Ruth. She's leaving work. She thinks teaching your kids to drive is an excellent idea. 10 out of 10. Southern Metalhead is busy with his sports gun licenses, so that's great. Good afternoon, anti-Marxists today. I'll back off to you too. Russell McLaren, thank you so much for joining my stream. Russell McLaren is from Reactionary Opinions, also another great YouTube channel that you should subscribe to. He says it's great if kids can drive. You never know when there's an emergency, and that was exactly my thinking. And you are incapacitated, your kid can drive you to the hospital. Absolutely. And there was actually on a farm not far from me, there was an attack, and the child tried to drive his dad away from the attackers and to get help because his dad had been shot, and he crashed the car. He could have been a competent driver, and it was just panic and everything else that made him crash the car. But yeah, it is one of the things that I did take into consideration when I decided, you know what, she's tall enough. If we lived on a farm, she'd be learning now. Teach her now. So, and Paul and Southern Metalhead are talking about guns. Because Southern Metalhead is a sports shooter. So, yeah, so Intensive Care Bear shared on Facebook a post, a headline about that there's going to be discussions in government about the way forward for the lockdown. And all I could say was, I can't talk about talking, about having more talks, about talking when we talking about talking, because it's just talk. That's all it is. Our Southern Metalhead is not doing their sports shooter licenses yet, but they will be. They plan to, which is great. Absolutely great. And Paul Hart has declared the lockdown over, and we may proceed as we wish. Okay, great. I'll be coming down to visit you then. I should be there tomorrow. And yeah, that's about all I have on current events. Is there anything I missed? Anything important? Or just more talk about talking whilst we're talking about talking? Should we? See what's trending on Twitter. Yo, maybe close that chat because that's a bit. Zodwa finds Vusi is trending on Twitter. Vusi for president. Is that same Vusi that posted that video that went viral? Probably, hey. You know what the trouble is when you check the trend, like people use it to like get traction, so they just use it to get, like they're not tweeting anything about it. So yeah, that's disappointing. Oh, and the comments jumped. Southern Metalhead refuses to wear a mask. Yeah, I made a few masks for my family, and then I went and bought buffs. So now when we're going to the shop, we just pull the buff up. And yeah, it's easier for the boys as well, for them to use. Paul has friends from Valiland. They drove down. That's great. That's great. I'm just worried about what happened. What might happen when I get to the provincial border with 3 children in my car. Yeah, don't forget Futsek ANC Friday. Just don't forget that. What do I think of the Lebanon government resigning? I don't really know what to think. I think they're a country that has gone through terrible, terrible losses and have basically been in a state of war for a long time, and they were just starting to recover. And now they're going to be ungoverned, and I'm not sure if the people are ready for that. Let's put it that way. But then Paul says there's nothing left to govern. So yeah, I think that explosion was definitely negligence. There was highly volatile explosives that were just confiscated off of a ship and stored in that port for 6 years, 7 years, or whatever. And as Mr. Eleutheria educated us the other day, it's an incredibly volatile substance. It degrades when it's kept in a humid environment, and I would assume that being a port, it was a humid environment. And then there was a fire in a munitions store, and the munitions store was right by where the explosion happened. And the port master, or whatever he's called, was trying to get the government to do something with all of these explosives, get them moved, and he was writing letters and he was being ignored. So I think it's a good thing that everybody resigned, because their negligence and their lack of action and everything led to this awful disaster. But I'm not sure it's going to achieve anything. So Paul is reminding us that on the 29th of August in Cape Town, there's going to be a bikers boogaloo. So do you know what I heard in on Saturday night? I was sitting in bed crocheting. It was like after 10 o'clock, way after curfew, and I just heard bikes on the highway. Meow, meow. And I was like, you glorious bastards, go. I love it. Love it. So yes, I'll be watching out for the bikers boogaloo in Cape Town. I assume you'll be participating, Paul. Southern Metalhead says Germ for King, Ramon for Prime Minister, Mareika Minister of Defence, Eleutheria Minister of Mom. Minister of Mom. BDL Speaker of the House, Marubani as the seer. Okay. And that's it. That will be our government. Done. Surely being ungoverned, it will become a lawless state. Well, it depends on the people. It really does depend on the people. I think for the most part, if people are left to sort things out, they will do what is best for them. And yeah, I believe a government's role is just to protect the country. Like really, that's it. You know, let's be ex, extremist freedom fighters in this regard, and say that the only role a government actually plays in our lives, or should play in our lives, is to protect our land from other forces, from external forces. The rest, we know what we need. We know what we need. Um, Paul Hart and his son were riding in level 5 lockdown. They just took their number plates off. You know, Paul, I did not know that you guys weren't allowed to ride your bikes in lockdown, in a hard lockdown. I didn't know that. When I found that out, I thought it was the most ridiculous thing ever. Because, like, some people, their motorbike is their only mode of transport. It was a family friend that told us he couldn't leave his estate, his very expensive estate on Hartbeespoort Dam, on his motorbike to go and buy shops at the groceries. This is the level of language on Eleutheria today. Hello, Lynn. Welcome to the stream. Laura's flirting with Paul again. Laura's planning to immigrate, and Paul's giving her a hard time. I agree, Laura should stay in Boogaloo. Laura's better prepared for Boogaloo than I am. But she does have family in the UK, so that, yeah, that makes a difference. Paul has a point. There's no sun in the UK, and there's pale and pasty people, and a lot of them are not very nice. Just saying. I know what you have that makes you more prepared, and it's one of those things that Paul keeps bugging me to get. But I'm not going to advertise it. It's 28 degrees in Tabazimbi, and I'm moving there tomorrow. They eat too many mushy peas. Yeah. Like, what is that? What's the deal with mushy peas, people? Like, my mom's from there, and she likes mushy peas. And I grew up on mushy peas, and they're gross. Paul's ancestors have been here since the first boats landed. This is my land. Laura loves mushy peas and cucumber sandwiches. Okay, you can go. Like, no offense, but yeah, offense. Now, gentle inflatables, there's absolutely nothing wrong with Yorkshire pudding. Okay. Absolutely nothing wrong with a good, fluffy, crispy Yorkshire pudding with a roast beef dinner. Okay. So leave the Yorkshire puddings alone. But I can agree with you, black pudding. Bleh. Paul doesn't eat peas or beans or lentils. And that's why he's healthy. boiled peanuts are a thing. The fuck is a boiled peanut? And why would you boil a peanut? Like raw or roasted with a shit ton of salt on, but boiled. Woo. Yeah, look, we have some family in the UK as well, but I still won't go there. I'm sorry, there's so many socio-economic problems there right now. I won't. No. Oh, I'll get Laura's channel link. Hang on.
The profitability of our business and our savings as we go along. We don't live in this country for the rest of our lives. And the key thing is that we can build structure, have a talk, etc.
Let's see if it's searchable.
So my target amount is 600. I can pay for them to dig the hole in the ground and then the bank has to come up.
No, still not. Stupid YouTube.
They had no mortgage and no idea what house will end up costing. Nevertheless, by early September, the diggers have moved off the site.
We did a bit of a testing yesterday just to see what was there. And I looked down into the hole.
Here we go. Here we go.
Taking responsibility for the excavation himself, leading 2 local farmers. Over 800 tons of hard limestone before they can start.
Laura doesn't like crumble pop. Who hurt you? Crumble pop with proper tomato and onion gravy. Yo. Yeah, Laura, I don't have WhatsApp open right now. It's looking. You have to make it right in order for it to taste lekker. Krummelpap, yes, you do have to make it right in order for it to taste lekker. You do. Yeah. So, 48 minutes, and what have we accomplished today? Apart from watching me talk the biggest load of nonsense. Absolutely, crumble pap and tomato and onion sauce, like, it's yummy. And if you're not like me and you can eat meat, then you have a lot of braaivleis with that. But no, me, I have to sit with my little fry sausages. Yes, we've achieved that we're hungry. That's for frickin' sure. I still want to know what the fuck the point in a boiled peanut is. You know what's nice is those wasabi coated peanuts. Those are yummy. We have concluded that writing letters is pointless because commies can't read. Yeah. But we do also need to change the apathy, Paul. And how do we change the apathy? Because there's far too many people that are just like, oh, can't change it. Like, I'm not going to go and vote next year because, like, my vote can't change anything. So, like, I'm not even registered. Like, I don't even know where my ID book is. So, yeah, you know, I just sit here like this, and I tell people that they should be wearing their masks and like behaving, because the sooner they all behave, then the sooner lockdown will end, because like that's how it works, guys. That's how it works, right?
I've had another conversation with Jennifer today. I'm going to push them to actually come to site because it can't be that far away. They spent a whole year talking about how you project it, but when it took the bunch, but I told them how because then it was really easy to understand.
There's a lot of just chat amongst the people. I need to do a how to make a Molotov cocktail stream. I thought we were doing that on Thursday, Paul. Or is that not part of prepping? Petrol bottles and a few of hubby's shirts. Hubby's shirts are all cut up and put in the pillow. There's still some scraps of fabric here on the floor. Still. Yeah. Yeah, so there's people watching. No, he's not shirtless. He has shirts. I will take a short video and upload it to the channel of my husband's wardrobe with all of his shirts hanging there neatly. He has at least 7. But I need to sort his wardrobe out a bit because like the bottom has got like, and I'm not going to put that on YouTube. The pillow is in my bedroom. It's on the windowsill in the sun because do you guys remember when I was ripping the shirts and I knocked over my cup of coffee? And it spilled on the yarn that was still attached to the pillow that needed to be closed off on the top. Okay. And so I decided, okay, I'm going to be clever. I'm not going to wash this yarn by hand before I finish making the pillow. I'm going to put the yarn in a pillowcase, okay, and stick it in the washing machine just with the piece sticking out that's still attached to the pillow. And it's going to wash, right? Like it's going to work, right? No, it doesn't work. Don't do that, okay? Don't do that. Wash your yarn by hand and let it hang and dry and everything because this doesn't work, okay? So what happened was when the machine, so obviously the yarn wicked the water out of the washing machine and it wicked like you would do if, how do I explain wicking? So anyway, it drew the water from the machine into the pillow. The pillow got wet, and that's not the only thing that happened. The spinning motion of the machine, like when it washes and then when it spins to get all the excess water out, it spun so fast that the yarn like shriveled up and then it snapped. But first the pillow got wet. So I've been leaving it to dry on the windowsill for a few days now. I think it's nearly dry. And yeah, I have to reattach the yarn once I've cut off the part that went all curly and is now unusable. And then I can close off the pillow. And then I'll show you guys the pillow. Boiled peanuts are healthy. Boil them and release antioxidants. No thanks, no boiled peanuts for me. I think they're actually better for you and they don't taste too bad when they're raw. So yeah. Marika also doesn't like Krummelpop. How to deal with tear gas and rubber bullet stream. Coffee flavored yarn. Coffee stained yarn. Oh, it was awful. Confit and kaas, staple food. But not together, hey? Like, I don't get people that eat cheese and jam sandwiches. Like, that's just, I don't get it. Chicken is not a vegetable. Okay. Chicken is a vegetable, like fish. Okay. Shame, Gentle Inflatables is allergic to eggs. That must be awful. That must be awful. Cheese goes with everything. No, no, no. Cheese does not go with jam. But mind you, I just generally don't like jam very much either. It's meat if it makes a noise. No, it's meat if it has a face. Or the potential for a face, because that's eggs. Biltong and cheese toasties. I can't say I've ever tried that, but I'd like to. I'm looking for someone to sponsor me some what's the word I'm looking for? Venison biltong. Because I tried beef biltong and I got sick. So now I want to try venison and see if it's the way we're farming animals that I'm allergic to. Unfortunately, vegans are meat because they do have a face, yes. Yeah. I'm freaking starving now, Gentle Inflatables, like so hungry. I think I'm going to have an early dinner so that it has time to digest before I go on Joe's show at 7. Cheese force for lunch. Gross. Gentle Inflatables is cuck hungry now and she's nearly done cooking, so she can eat soon too. Just a last reminder that Laura is streaming at 7:30 tonight. So please go give her a subscribe and a watch. Look, see. Then also, don't forget to subscribe to Rebellious Ruth. Over here, what's online? Beth, try buying on course online. Okay, we'll try that. Cool. Biltong and jelly tots. And my husband says I'm weird for putting Astros in my popcorn. And then also tonight, I'm having a chat with Joe Emilio and Yanni van der Walt about tech and kids. And I can't find the link. So we're talking about tech and kids and what we should be doing to keep our kids safe. So please do tune in for that. I'm just trying to get the link because Yeah. That would help. Jeez. The brain fog is real tonight, eh? Today. It's not even night. Okay. I actually just can't find the link. So I'm just going to link you to his channel, and you can subscribe and ring the notification bell to get all notifications, so that at 7 o'clock you can watch us. So there we go. Second kids, don't give them a phone. Yeah. Laura is spewing heresy in the comments because Marmite is disgusting. I did that when I was pregnant, Paul. Well, actually, I would get a strawberry milkshake and French fries from McDonald's, and then I dip the French fries in my strawberry milkshake. So yeah. When last did we do a fondue? Oh, nearly 20 years ago. Tech for kids should be how to start a fire with a stick, yes. But the thing is, these days we learned how to start fires with a stick off of YouTube. So, yeah. I think the key is, no, I'm going to save it for Joe's show. Watch Joe's show tonight at 7 o'clock. If you're busy, watch the replay. Fondue is so 70s. Nothing like fondue and board games with the family. Maybe we should do that. What will I eat? Cheese. Can you put fish in a fondue? I suppose you can do calamari, because calamari basically is deep fried. Yeah. Okay, well, it is now 10 to 5. We've been going for over an hour. Do a cheese fondue and dip anything in it, please. Sounds a bit rich. So don't forget that we're throwing commies out of helicopters at 2 o'clock in the morning, because apparently that's when it's darkest. So join us for that. Obviously, I'm joking.
What are you
doing? Oh, yes, we have a chocolate fondue. Do we still have that? The chocolate fondue. That was fun. Fondue. Okay, my daughter doesn't even know what a fondue is, guys. I'm going to have to do it. Chocolate fondue, yes. I thought it was darkest in 2020. Yes, it is darkest in 2020. Yes, I must explain the helicopter to the kids. Do you know last night I heard a helicopter at like 2 o'clock in the morning? That reminds me, that's why I have such brain fog today. I didn't sleep very well last night. Okay, I don't feel so bad now. All right, so remember that I'm on the Joe show, or Joe's Let's Talk show at 7 o'clock tonight. We're talking about tech and children. Laura is launching her new channel at 7:30. Don't forget to subscribe to Rebellious Ruth. Scroll up in the chat for all the links to everything that I've just mentioned. Remember that we do not need more plans from government. We just need to unlock down and let the private sector take care of South Africa, because we know what we're doing. We know what we need. Spread that message out there. If you like my content, please let me know by liking the video and sharing it with your friends, telling them that, you know, there's a crazy woman on YouTube that talks about liberty and a whole lot of other cuck every single day, live at 15:45, and we have interactive streams and we have fun whilst we do it. And yeah, so share it with your friends, get the message out there, get the message of liberty out there. Don't forget to come back here tomorrow at 4:45 again. And especially don't forget Thursday's one, because that's all about prepping for the zombie apocalypse. And if you think I'm joking, then join and find out for yourself. Chad is leaving us with a joke of the day. So a burglar broke into my house. I put the red dot on his chest and my cat did the rest. I like that one. Okay, everybody. Remember, don't wear a mask if you don't have to. Stay safe out there and change the world by just using liberty. Cheers.